browser plugin and how it can be used to get additional information, additional resources from cultural and scientific databases. So let's assume we have a Google search on Lovelace because we are interested in the history of programming. And then we think, there is a woman called Ada Lovelace, and our first natural place is to go to Wikipedia, and my plugin is configured to ignore any, or to not consider recommending items when being on a Google page, but to recommend additional items when being on a Wikipedia page. So what the plugin basically does, it based on your profile, it creates, it extracts from a paragraph the most likely topics of this paragraph and shows these and creates a query from those topics, and then announces that there are a number of results, like for example 100 results here. So now I can open those 100 results and see lots of different resources coming from different databases, cultural and scientific ones, on Ada Lovelace. For example, here we have a parish church. Here we have a portrait of Ada Lovelace. So I can only focus here on images, and one gets similar images as with Google, but also more. For example, the question is, what is this image for, and why is the Hackney library recommended? And then clicking on an item, one is redirected to the original source or the aggregator of the item, in this case Europeana. And here we see that this is a picture of the library staff member Sandra Smith in display on Ada Lovelace, Ada Byron and Lady Lovelace, and this is a well-known museum or library focused on Lord Byron and Ada Lovelace. So we got additional information on that. Of course, we also have other sources, for example, here are text resources, etc. We can go into a more faceted browsing mode to see which provider gave us which kind of results. So for example, we saw that all those portraits and the Hackney library and more are coming from Europeana, while the most scientific publications, like for example on Ada Byron, Lady Lovelace, which if we open it, we see that this seems to be an essay about Ada Byron in the history of computing, IEEE journal. Yes, you can also filter by license, for example, have a restricted or European license or a restricted license, etc. So you can browse the results in a faceted way. Good. Yeah, this is one possibility. So when you scroll further down, EEXCESS automatically detects the paragraph and tries to identify the paragraph you're currently focusing on. In this case here, it's a paragraph about Lord Byron and the expectation on Ada as well as her mother. And again, when opening it, go back to the image mode because I find that it's the most appealing. We now see that we do not get the same photos as before, because now the main topic of this paragraph was Augusta Leigh, the mother of Ada Lovelace, and married to Lord Byron, and here you get images of Lord Byron and of course of Augusta Leigh, her mother. Again, by clicking on it, you go to the original source. So this shows rather nice interaction, and that depending on the paragraph you're looking at, depending on the context, you're getting different results reported. Now I can also go, or one aim is to recommend long tail content, so very specialized items. And to show you this, I go to the page of Liestal, which is a capital of Basel-Land, the district in Switzerland. And the reason I'm going here is that the provider of cultural heritage content for the region, KIM, or the Archaeological Museum of Basel-Land, has a portal called KIM Portal, has a lot of content about the region. And EEXCESS is recommending content or resources from that portal. So for example, we open the page and detects the first paragraph as the paragraph we're currently reading. And this paragraph is about the official language of Liestal. And so we can again look, there are additional resources here. And we see, for example, dialects and cultural identity and economic exchange, which is a scientific publication from the economics, which investigates cross-cultural borders and the effect on economic exchange. Okay, but let's go further down. Here, for example, we have the history of Liestal, and again, by going on the paragraph and focusing on it, I get again 100 results and recommendations. And let's see, I'm more interested in images, and what you can see now here is that we have, regarding the history, we have images of Liestal. So there is a drawing from Emanuel Büchle, 1735, and we have an image of Napoleon who is conquering Liestal, which is quite nice, and so I can explore that. And for example, this drawing comes from this cultural heritage portal of our partner, the Museum Association in Basel-Land, and we directly access this. This doesn't only work with history, but also with geography, for example. Here we have another paragraph of geography of Liestal, and the main river in Liestal is the Ergolz. And so the main topic Ergolz is extracted. And we get, again, if we go to the results here, we get a lot of images of the surrounding of Liestal, with a focus on the Ergolz, again coming from Kim Basel. We also get very old drawings, like here Liestal from the east, and could explore the images. So we get a better impression how it looks basically in Liestal and how it looks in their surroundings. Good. Finally, I want to go to another page, which is my hometown, Villach, and show you that you also get nice results for other pages. Like, for example, here we have identified the first paragraph is identified as relevant, and we have here good. We have here another images of Villach. The first paragraph of Villach, we get recommendations of search topics, and then we can open it, and we see here that we have again images like Sagfert an der Glan, Villacher Alpe, which is a major mountain there, and also herbs found in the region. As another mode which is currently in development, we want to show, for example, a timeline. And this works very nice with the data. For example, here we have a timeline where we have the history and And this history here is the first Erzbischof of Konrad of Salzburg, and as we see now, they signed some kind of treaty with one with the monastery in Ossiach, which is close to Villach. I hope you enjoy the screencast, which I'm currently recording here. Yeah, and of course you can go through the images. Here you see the Villacher Alpe, the mountain, the closest mountain to Villach in 1815, and you also see, for example, here a valley near Villach and so on. So you can scroll through the history of Villach as it is provided by the search result. Quite nicely, now I'm going a little bit faster, is that we also are able to recommend videos, like for example in that case. Villach is also very known for the Carnival, and here you have a news entry about talking about
besonders beliebt, grelle Inszenierungen und
about the Carnival in Villach. And so with a few easy clicks you're getting from the Wikipedia page of Villach to news entry. In case you have wondered what those bubbles here are, this is in principle the history of results visited by you, the history of queries that created results, and where we have viewed those results. For example, we can go back to one of our initial query, that was Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage, and review the timeline of them there. And so we have here the timeline of Ada Lovelace, and Countess of Lovelace, and so on and so forth. So this allows us to quite fast navigate within our search result. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for EEXCESS and you learned how to use EEXCESS. Maybe as a final remark, I want to show you also that we can filter here on certain kinds of information needs, for example, just on persons. And this can be nicely shown on the page of Rembrandt, a famous painter, where if I focus on persons, I will, for the first 100 results, get, of course, images from Rembrandt, but also other resources, but images are so nicely to show. And if I scroll further down, here we have the life, an entry to the life of Rembrandt. Of course, Rembrandt is associated with lots of different painters, and so he interacted with different persons, and here we can then view the paintings not only of him but also maybe of other painters or of resources associated with him and other persons he met in his life. This also belongs to family relatives. Here, for example, we have a paragraph talking partially also about Titus van Rijn, which was his son, and you can take a look. And now we have here, we should have here, images of his son Titus, which have been also drawn by Rembrandt, and this is also used as a postcard, for example, in the Netherlands, which shows Rembrandt's son Titus, and is worth 7.5 cents. So I hope you are now eager to try EEXCESS and see what interesting findings EEXCESS can reveal for you. And we are happy to receive any feedback if you want. And if you have some cool ideas for live features, we're also happy to